Every Halloween, the stories get darker. Real things that happened to people who thought October 31st was just another night. Hello, and welcome to No Sleep Tonight. Before we begin, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps this channel grow and keeps these true horror stories coming. Stay with me until the end, because Halloween doesn't need ghosts to be terrifying. Sometimes the real stories are much worse. Alright, let's dive into 3 unsettling Halloween stories that will give you chills. The cornfield shortcut. I left my friend's Halloween party just after 11. The night had that strange stillness you only get in late October. No crickets, no voices, just the occasional rustle of dry leaves scraping along the sidewalk. I live maybe half an hour away on foot, but I didn't feel like walking the whole route along the main road. Behind the old feed store, there's a cornfield that cuts straight toward my neighborhood. If you go through it, you save at least 20 minutes. I'd heard all the stories, of course. Every kid in town had. People said the rows shifted, that you could get lost in there, that time worked differently inside. But I figured it was just another local legend. The entrance was easy enough, just a gap in the fence where other people had slipped through before me. The stalks swayed in the wind, tall enough to blot out the streetlights behind me. Within a few steps, the world outside vanished. At first, it wasn't bad. The only sounds were my own footsteps and the dry rattle of the stalks brushing against each other. I told myself the shortcut would be quick. 10 minutes, maybe less. But after a while, I noticed I wasn't getting anywhere. No matter how long I walked, the end of the row never came. I turned left. More rows. I turned right. More rows. They all looked the same. Endless walls of corn stretching into blackness. I pulled out my phone. No signal. The battery had dropped from 60% to 30% in just minutes. My chest tightened. That's when I heard it. Footsteps. Slow. Deliberate. Keeping pace a row or two over. I froze. The sound stopped too. When I moved again, so did it. I whispered hello, trying to sound casual, but my voice cracked. The only reply was the dry sound of the stalks. Then, for just a moment, I saw something through the gaps. A figure, tall, too tall, perfectly still, facing me. My stomach twisted. I blinked and it was gone. I tried walking faster, my shoes crunching against the soil. The footsteps followed, sometimes closer, sometimes farther, but always there. The rows around me seemed to close in, narrower, pressing against my shoulders. Finally, I stumbled out onto the road, gasping for air. My legs burned, as if I'd been running for hours. I pulled out my phone. The time read 2:56 a.m. What should have been a 10-minute shortcut had stolen nearly 4 hours. When I turned back, the cornfield looked normal, rows perfectly straight, nothing out of place. But I swear, I could saw the figure, fading deeper into the field. The pumpkin in the window. At the end of my street, there's an old house that's been falling apart since before I was born. The roof is half gone. The porch leans like it's going to give out, and the windows are smashed. Nobody has lived there in decades. But every Halloween night, without fail, a jack-o'-lantern appears in the front window, always lit, always glowing. Nobody in the neighborhood ever admits to putting it there. When I was 17, my friends dared me to go inside and take a picture. I didn't want to, but I said yes, because I didn't want to be the coward. The closer I got, the worse it felt. The yard was overgrown with weeds. The boards on the porch bowed under my weight, and the air smelled damp and sour. When I pushed the door open, the sound of the hinges echoed down the street. Inside, it was worse. The smell of mildew was so strong, I had to cover my mouth. The carpet squished under my shoes, like it was still wet from rain that had leaked through the broken roof. My flashlight showed broken chairs, graffiti on the walls, holes in the ceiling. I kept going until I reached the front room, and that's when I saw it. The pumpkin was sitting on the windowsill, the candle inside flickering weakly. From outside, it probably looked harmless, but up close, it was different. The face wasn't triangles or a silly smile. It looked stretched, twisted, like someone had carved it while staring at a person who was actually screaming. It didn't even look like a pumpkin anymore. It looked like a mask of someone in pain. I lifted my phone to take the picture. The moment I lined up the shot, the candle went out. The room was swallowed in black. I couldn't see my hand in front of me. That's when I heard it. Breathing. Slow, heavy breathing. Right behind me. I froze. My whole body felt like it locked up. I could feel the air shifting, like someone was standing inches from my back. I turned with the flashlight, shaking so badly the beam jumped across the walls. There was nobody there. The room was empty, but the sound didn't stop. It just faded back into the dark, like whoever it was had stepped out of sight. I didn't think. I ran. I sprinted out the door, down the street, not caring if the floor collapsed under me. By the time I got to my friends, I was out of breath, drenched in sweat. They laughed at me, called me a coward, told me I made it up. Then I showed them my phone. In my gallery, there was a photo. The pumpkin was glowing again, just like before. Only the carving wasn't the one I saw with my own eyes. It was different. 2 round eyes and a wide grin. The kind of face kids carve. But I swear to this day, that's not the face I saw in that window. The costume. Every year our town runs a Halloween fair. It's small. A few rides, food stands, and a haunted house they throw together inside an old warehouse near the edge of town. They ask for volunteers to dress up. So that year, I signed up. Easy money, I thought. They gave us cheap costumes, plastic masks, black cloaks, a little fake blood. Nothing fancy. My job was simple. Wait near the end of the maze and jump out at people as they passed. The first hour went fine. People screamed, laughed, moved on. Then around 9, I heard someone call my name. Not the fake character name. My real name. I thought it was one of the other volunteers messing with me. So I turned. Someone was standing in the corner of the maze. At first, I thought it was just another actor. But the mask was wrong. It wasn't one of the dollar store ones they gave us. It was pale, smooth, almost like porcelain. 2 black holes where the eyes should have been. No straps, no edges. It didn't look like something you wore. It looked like a face. The figure didn't move at first. Then it stepped closer. The way it dragged its feet across the floor made my stomach turn. It tilted its head and called my name again, like it had been saying it for years. And then it held something out to me. Another mask, identical to the one it was wearing. I didn't touch it, but I swear I could feel the cold coming off it from where I stood. I backed away, shoved the emergency exit door open, and walked straight out. I didn't even bother telling the kids in line what happened. I just left. Later that night, I told the organizer I quit. She was confused. Said only 4 volunteers had signed up to work the maze that night. I know what I saw. I counted 5. I didn't tell anyone else what I saw. I didn't want to explain it, and I didn't want them to think I was making it up. But I never volunteered for that haunted house again. And every Halloween since, I stay as far away from it as I can. These were just 3 Halloween stories, but they prove one thing. You don't need ghosts or monsters for horror. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to subscribe. If you enjoyed this one, 2 more Halloween videos are on your screen. Just pick one and keep the scare going. Thanks for watching No Sleep Tonight. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, sleep well.